truth is we are all inherently worthy of anything that we desire in this life. Literally anything. The goal of this is also to just show yourself that it is possible, and oftentimes that it is possible to have what you want in the timeline that you have. Hi, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you how to bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. I'm really excited to share this formula with you. There are multiple components to it, and this is a formula that I've used in my own life to really bring myself to become the person that I want to be, with more confidence, more inner peace, and to live some crazy adventures that I've had over this past year that include traveling the world for 6 months, becoming a fishing guide, all sorts of good stuff. This is not your typical goal setting video, although there is parts of it, but this really encompasses a lot of the mindset work that goes into creating the life that you want and how to believe that you are ultimately worthy of this life that you desire. Because at the end of the day, the mindset work and believing that you're worthy of what you want in life is probably the biggest part of the process. Because if you don't believe that you're worthy of it, if your beliefs don't align with what you want, you will ultimately continue to subconsciously sabotage your success and sabotage your goals, because the life that you want doesn't align with your subconscious beliefs about yourself. So here we go. Now, how do we get there? So I'm going to break this formula down into a few steps. And the first step is creating an ultimate vision for what it is that you want and what it is that you want to create. So in order to create the things that we want in life, we need to have a picture of exactly what that is, so we have a direction to move toward. I want you to spend some time on this. Maybe like set aside an hour, maybe even 2 hours, however much you can dedicate to this, because I'd say that this is probably one of the most important parts, just so you can really create that vision for what it is you want. A lot of times we have a vision, or we know that we want more, but we don't exactly know what that is. So this part is all about tapping into what it is that you want. And if you're not 100% sure yet, that is okay. The goal of this part is to really start to get curious about what makes you feel good in life and what has made you feel good in life, so that you can begin to create a life that lights you up more than it perhaps does right now. So I just want you to get out a piece of paper and brainstorm just a bunch of things that you might want in life. Like, this could be job, this could be hobbies, this could be friends, this could be community, this could be a way that you want to feel. I want you to write down anything and everything. I want you to consider things that you've really enjoyed in the past that made you feel really good. Maybe in the past you were a runner and you ran more and you were happier when you were running more. So write running on the list. Maybe your future self runs more than you do now. This is something personally that is in my kind of future self, is getting more into running, because I'm so happy in life when I am running. And maybe if you can't think of anything recently, think about what you loved when you were a child. Did you love to dance? Did you love to color? Did you love to draw? Whatever it is. I want you to also think about like what you're doing for work. Does what you're doing for work light you up? If it doesn't, and it doesn't matter to you, that's okay. But if you want something more, I want you to start thinking about what kind of a career would light you up. And I want you to dream big. Don't limit yourself here. What is something that you would just love to wake up and do? And you could do some research, look into different people who have fun careers that you might want. I did this and got really serious with myself and realized that I wanted to be a videographer and do YouTube and share this message. And for a while, I didn't think it was possible until I wrote it down and tried to figure out how it was possible for me. So write down anything and everything. If you can't think of any specific things, or not many specific things, I want you to write down how you want to feel in your life. Do you want to feel more peace? Do you want to feel freedom? Do you want to feel loved? Do you want to feel supported? Getting down to a feeling is also important, because then you can use those feelings to guide your decisions towards what makes you feel good and what makes you feel those things. The next part, how you structure this, is ultimately up to you, but I want you to create a vision for what you want to create in the next year of your life, and then in the next 5 to 10 years. So in the next year of your life is things that you maybe can see are possible for you to do, to accomplish in the next year. And I still want you to dream big here. I want you to write down a few things that scare you, but that are possible. Like maybe you want to change careers and start your own business. I think that it is possible to envision yourself owning your own business a year from now. So write that down. And don't just think about career. Maybe in a year you want to be owning your own business. You want to be running marathons. You want to have a solid community of people around you. And then 5 to 10 years, where do you want to live? How do you want to feel? And if you don't know the specifics, that's actually okay. Write down some little things, but you can be broad. I want you to really tap into how you'll feel when you have the life that you want. So like 5 to 10 years, you'll maybe feel completely at ease, completely at peace. Will be in a job, a career you love, even if you don't know what that is. Just break it down into a year and 5 to 10 years from now. Okay, so now that you've created this vision and really taken some time on this, like allow yourself to maybe even take a week or so, or 2 weeks to really create this vision, because this is your life we're talking about, and you're brought on this earth to experience life and to find joy and to really be yourself in this world. So this process doesn't need to be quick. Remember that it might take time to create the life that you want, and that is okay, because there's a future version of yourself that's living the life that you desire. And she'll be so happy that she took the time to just get clear on what she wanted. Now comes the juicy part. How do we get there? And there's a couple of parts to this part. So the first part, I'm going to talk about what we first mentioned, or what I first mentioned in the intro, about the beliefs that you need to have in order to have what you desire in life. So crash course on beliefs. So our beliefs are essentially the stories that we have about ourselves and the world, and are stored in our subconscious mind. And most of our beliefs about ourselves are created from the age of 0 to 6 and are influenced by the people who raised us, the environment that we're raised in. A lot of the beliefs that we hold about ourselves, or that stop us from getting to what we want in life, are very limiting. So a lot of us have beliefs of, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, money is hard to make, I have to struggle to be successful. Different beliefs like those are pretty common in what keeps us from really going after what we want in life and constantly self-sabotaging ourselves. We pick up these beliefs when we're younger super easily because our young subconscious brain takes everything at face value. So if a parent or guardian is not validating us or is not showing us love, we might automatically internalize this as, I'm not worthy of love. If our parents aren't emotionally attuned to us, we might internalize the belief of, I'm not worthy of being seen. Different things like this. Those are just a couple of examples. We also may pick up a lot of empowering beliefs from our family or our environment. But right now I'm just talking about the limiting beliefs that are getting in the way of you having what you want. And these limiting beliefs get in the way of us having what we want because our beliefs form our reality. And our subconscious brain always wants to be right. So if we are going after, say we want to make more money in life, but we keep finding ourselves unable to make a certain amount of money. Say you might believe subconsciously that you are not worthy of money, or you need to struggle in order to make money. So then money coming to you easily, or lots of money being available to you, just doesn't fit your internal story of what's possible. You may self-sabotage yourself by just not going for certain opportunities that would help you make a lot of money, or by getting overwhelmed really easily when maybe you are about to have money, or maybe spending money really quickly when you have it because it feels unsafe to have it. So more crash course on this in another video, but that's essentially the basics of the beliefs. In order to really create the life that you desire and to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be, you have to figure out what beliefs or limiting beliefs maybe are getting in your way of you having this thing. And there may not be any. You may just have not taken the action to get there, but a lot of times there are some small beliefs or fears that are getting in our way that we can then flop to a more empowering belief to help us get there faster with more ease and less resistance. I want you to get out another piece of paper, spend some time on this one as well, and I want you to imagine what it feels like to be living the life that you desire. What do you have to believe about yourself in order to have these things? Say you want to have a successful career and make a good amount of money and be traveling the world. In order to do that, you might need to believe that you're worthy of money, that abundance comes your way easily, that you are capable, different things like that. And if you're having a hard time really envisioning what these beliefs are, to think about what are the beliefs that are stopping you from getting to where you want. If you have any resistance towards envisioning this future life, which a lot of us do, a lot of us might be like, might create a vision and be like, that's too much. I will never get there. That is, that's impossible, or that's too difficult, or that's only for the select few. Write down all of your fears and just the limiting beliefs that you have about this big vision that you're creating for your life. So this is the gold mine, because these beliefs are basically what are keeping us from getting to where we want to go. And now, in another column right next to it, or just on another page, I want you to write down the inverse of all of these beliefs, an empowering belief. So if you believe that I'm not good enough, I want you to write down something like, I am good enough and I am worthy of having what I desire in life. All of these different things. The idea here isn't even to change all of these beliefs right now. Don't get overwhelmed by writing all these down or realizing that you have a lot of limiting beliefs in your way. That is okay. It isn't necessary to completely rewrite every single one of these beliefs to have what you want. The key is to become aware of them and to consciously choose to rewrite your story and rewrite your internal script so that you can empower yourself to go after what you want and feel worthy of it. Because the truth is, we are all inherently worthy of anything that we desire in this life. Literally anything. We are born inherently worthy beings, and throughout our life, we are led to believe that we fall short in some way, but you don't fall short in any way. Who you are is perfect, and you are worthy of having what you want in life. But we need to get our subconscious on board with this idea. So now, I want you to have all of your positive beliefs written down, and feel free to add any ones that you feel like would be helpful in encouraging you to get to where you want to go. So there are a bunch of ways that we can consciously and subconsciously shift these beliefs, and literally hundreds and hundreds of ways, but I'm going to give you a couple of tips right now. I do just want to plug that the number one thing that has helped me to shift these beliefs at a subconscious level is this program called To Be Magnetic. If you've never heard of it, go ahead and look them up. I have a link below. You can get a discount on their monthly membership, but they have a process for manifestation that is incredible, and a lot of meditations that help you to rewire these subconscious beliefs at a deep, deep level. And it has honestly changed my life, just this idea of subconscious reprogramming, and they have such great tools for it. This video is not sponsored by them, or I'm not affiliated with them, but if you're watching this TBM, maybe think about it. But that's a great, great resource. You can listen to their podcast Expanded on Spotify and just kind of start to listen to kind of what they talk about before you really commit to actually doing their program. That's what I started doing. Meditations are a great way to start rewriting these beliefs. If you look up like inner child healing or subconscious belief meditation on YouTube, you'll find a bunch of examples. Joe Dispenza has a lot of great work in terms of rewriting these subconscious beliefs. He has a really great book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, which talks all about this as well. That's kind of where I started with rewriting subconscious beliefs, is all about how to align your brain kind of with what you want in life. Haven't read it in a while, but that's a really, really good one. Those are just a couple of tips for subconscious reprogramming, meditations, and flipping over to the conscious side. There's a lot of ways to start to reinforce these beliefs in our life. You can start by using them as affirmation. Right when you wake up or right when you go to bed is when your subconscious is most open to suggestion. So maybe keep these by your bedside and read them to yourself every morning and every evening. This will start to imprint them to your subconscious, but more than anything will just help you to continue to focus on what you are wanting to believe in your life. Throughout your days, start to ask yourself in different situations, what would I do if I believed that I was enough in this situation? What would I do if I believed that money came to me easily in this situation? And so it's all about living your life from this place of high self-worth, of believing that you're worthy. You can also ask yourself the question of, what would my highest self do in this situation? And to me, my highest self is just the most peaceful, loving version of myself. Along with that, what's helped me a lot is just changing my self-talk, just noticing throughout the day how I'm talking to myself. A year ago, maybe a couple of years ago, I would just be my worst inner critic. And I would just consciously start to shift that by catching myself and being like, I'd be critical of myself and I'd catch myself saying, why would you do that? You're not good enough. And I would be like, wait, no. I would literally be like, no, inner critic. I would thank the inner critic for trying to help me. I'd be like, thank you for trying to help me, inner critic, but I don't need you anymore. And now I'm choosing to believe different things. Actually, I am good enough, I'm worthy, and I can handle anything. So being your own biggest cheerleader is so, so important. I could spend so long on this segment, and we'll probably create another video on it, but the point of this whole section is to align your beliefs with the version of you that has what you desire. And a lot of times this is just instilling that you are worthy of what you desire, that you are worthy of being loved, of being accepted, of belonging, all of that good stuff. The next tip I have for you is to surround yourself with people who are doing these things that you want to do. And in the work of TBM, to be magnetic, which I suggested earlier, they often call this expanders. And the point of this is to expand your mind as to what is possible for you and for other people. So this could be surrounding yourself physically with people, or just surrounding your brain with this. This could be watching YouTube videos of people who are doing the things that you want to do. So for me, I want to become an ultra runner. Like, it is just my dream to become an ultra runner because I love running, I love trail running, and I love accomplishing big goals. But right now, I'm not really a trail runner. I could probably run like 7 miles. My goal is to run a 50K at some point in the next year. At first, I didn't believe that this was possible for me, but then I just looked up on YouTube like how to become an ultra runner and broke it down, and it actually seems quite possible to become an ultra runner. And I saw some people talking about how they became an ultra runner in a year. So just seeing that makes me believe that actually I can do it. So the goal of this is also to just show yourself that it is possible, and oftentimes that it is possible to have what you want in the timeline that you have. So find people that maybe you relate with as well, that are on a similar journey to you, but are a little bit farther ahead of you doing what you want to do or doing what you dream of, and just surround yourself with this. For me, I'm also going to keep going to a running group. I'm going to run on my own. I'm going to just YouTube videos, honestly, is my favorite way to get involved in what I want to create in my life. Can you interview certain people in life who are doing the things that you want to do and ask them how they got to where they want to go? Can you put yourself in spaces where the people you want to be friends with are hanging out doing, maybe that's in a yoga studio, maybe that's in a business meetup, maybe that's at a networking event, whatever it is, surround yourself with people who are doing what you want to do so it shows you what's possible. And if you can relate to them, that's even better, because then you can start to see yourself in them, and that if they could do it, you could do it too. So the next part of this is the goal setting part of it. And this could be a whole nother video in itself, but I'm just gonna share the overview just to give you kind of an idea. This is so simple and something that I'd heard a million times before I actually implemented it into my life. But the simplicity of it is just mind-blowing. And it's all about creating a system that works for you. But first is to work backwards from your goal. So say a year from now, you want to be a business owner. Say you want to own a bake shop. What would you need to do? Write down what you need to accomplish in a year in order to get there, and then break that down even farther. How far would you need to get in 6 months, in 3 months? And what would you need to do monthly to accomplish that? What would you need to do weekly to accomplish that monthly goal? And what would you need to do daily to accomplish that weekly goal? So just breaking it down backwards, little by little by little by little, so that you know what you need to be doing daily or weekly in order to get there. And find a system that works for you to keeping this in place. So for me, the system that works for me is every single Monday, I go over my goals for the week. and I go through exactly what I need to be doing daily in order to get to that goal. And I will always be thinking about what my goal is for the month, what my goal is for the year, and how that kind of fits into it. And then monthly, like once a month, I review what I did for the month, and if I accomplish my objectives from the last month, and what my objectives are for the next month to get me to those 3-month goals, those 6-month goals. So there are a lot of videos on YouTube as well breaking this down even farther, but the key is just to break it down so you know what you have to do daily so that you're not wandering aimlessly. So for me, like wanting to become an ultra runner, I essentially need to run maybe a couple half marathons and a marathon before I run that ultra marathon, which I might not actually run a marathon because I don't like running on the road. So whatever, you don't have to do it the way that everyone else does it. You can do it your own way. But for me, say like, part of my goal is to run a half marathon in 2 months or 3 months. So then weekly, I need to be doing like 4 different types of runs, some strength training, and fueling myself properly. So then at my weekly check-in, I'm going to write down the runs that I need to do that specific week. And then every single day, I forgot this, every single night I go through what I need to do for the day tomorrow. So every single night I will look at this chart to see what I need to be doing tomorrow. So if you break it down to systems, then it will be easy to figure out what you need to do. But take this big goal and break it down into manageable steps and just plan a time for daily, weekly, monthly when you're going to review. And lastly, on how to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be is to start saying no to what doesn't align. We have a way of living our life right now that we're used to, and what we want out of life is likely out of the realm of what we have right now. And so we need to start saying no to things that are settling for things that we don't want anymore, are settling for people that don't support us, are settling for things that don't lift us up anymore. Start saying no to what doesn't align and let the feeling of what you want guide you. Let your intuition tell you which direction is the right direction to go. When we are creating the life that we desire, it can often feel a little bit painful when we're leaving behind some version of ourselves and different things that we used to settle for. This doesn't mean that you need to change all your friends or swap out everything. It just means start being more intentional about what you let into your life so that you can clear space for what does belong in your life and for the version of you that needs to come in to support this life that you want to live. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe below for more videos like this. Let me know in the comments what you took from this, what would be helpful to hear in another video, and thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this was super helpful, and I will see you next time.